Well, it's been a big year for you. Like you were making what 12K a month when we last spoke. I think I saw in the interview. How does that looking now? Like how much has the agency progressed forward?
Yeah, it's been really good. I think we've 33 or 34 clients right now, and we're just between about 80,000 and 85,000 per month now in revenue.
You've 8x the business in a year, basically.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is great. So yeah, it's been going. I never thought it would be going this well, you know.
Hi guys, Jordan here. Today I'm joined by Adam Power from Powered Media. You probably recognize his face because Adam has been on the channel before. Just over a year ago now, Adam jumped on and he was smashing it in his agency at this point. He's blown the socks off the previous video, but I'm gonna let Adam explain all of that today. And we're gonna dive into it, what he's changed in the agency, his biggest things he's learned, all of the juicy stuff. So firstly, Adam, thank you for coming back, man. Secondly, for those of the people who haven't watched the interview yet, could you give us a bit of a quick introduction, let people know who you are, what you do?
Yeah, thank you, Jordan. It's been just over a year now, so I'm happy to be back on. Yeah, basically what we do is we're like a full service. What we position ourselves is your revenue growth partner. So we basically do everything that drives revenue to brands online. So any e-commerce business, we will offer every service we feel applicable to the brand, and yeah, we basically that's basically it. Full service e-commerce agency is what we do.
Cool. And when did you start your agency? You didn't have an agency beforehand. You had pretty much no marketing experience. What was the? Can you give us a quick rundown on that?
Yeah. So basically, in the previous interview, I failed school. I failed all that stuff. Basically, never went to college, and just basically kind of started in 2018 and just figured it out as I went. I figured it out as I went, and it took me a good couple of years, but achieved the goals that I set out there want to achieve. You know.
Amazing. Well, it's been a big year for you. Like you were making what 12K a month when we last spoke. I think I saw in the interview. How does that looking now? Like how much has the agency progressed forward?
Yeah, so right now it's been so crazy the past 60 days. Like I feel like a bit of a robot at the moment, but yeah, it's been really good. I think we've 33 or 34 clients right now, and we're just between about 80,000 and 85,000 per month now in revenue.
So you've 8x the business in a year, basically.
Yeah. Which is great. So yeah, it's been going. I never thought it would be going this well, you know. But
that's amazing, man. So what's the strategy? What are you doing? So like, are you outbounding? How have you built the business from that point to where it is now? How have you 8x in this time?
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of things really. A lot of things, like I focus my mind on attracting opportunities a lot, and I think that's, I believe in everything. You know, I study Bob Proctor's programs all the time, and I know that, you know, that is a huge part to everything I've achieved. Like I feel like I do attract opportunities because I prepare myself for them. As well, we do, you know, we don't do mega outreach, but we do here and there. We do have a sales manager. The sales manager is, you know, setting appointments. There's myself and another person takes the calls. So between two of us, we have calls every day. So we're pushing hard to get on clients, but I mean, basically we're just focused on building the brand. Do you know what I mean? Word of mouth referrals is massive for us, as it always has been. But yeah,
so the majority is coming inbound, is it, from the existing clients?
I'd say around 40% inbound and 60% outbound. So a lot of it would be inbound. A lot of it would be, for example, Rebecca, who's our marketing manager, would do like meet our clients or then meet our clients' results on our Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn every single week. So every week we have like a big ROAS post, and like that usually gets, so we'd all share, all the staff would share it. shared on a story, and it usually gets a lot of attention because the results that we achieve for a brand, a lot of similar brands to the brand we post would be interested in. So we create that interest, and with the inbound and then us doing the outbound as well, it all kind of, our goal is to kind of have it all working in the system.
Nice. What kind of outbound are you doing? Are you emailing? What's the DMing? What's the outbound strategy look like?
So potentially 80% of our outbound will be Instagram. And then we're dabbling around email and LinkedIn. Nothing major. I think we've signed one client from LinkedIn. But nothing major has come from LinkedIn. Everything else would be Instagram or Instagram.
Okay, that's cool. So your revenues obviously increased like a significant amount. Obviously, you've taken on a lot of new clients. But have you got those? What's the kind of payment structure of those clients? Are you on like a service fee? Do you have like big ROAS percentages? Like, what's that looking like?
So at the start of this year, I started to move a lot of clients over from, so like for clients paying 3 or 4K a month retainer, I can bring it down to 1,500 plus the ROAS, because so at the start of the year, the ROAS was quite high for a lot of brands. And if we were in a ROAS deal, our fee would be a lot higher. It kind of brought a little bit of friction between the clients, because a lot of clients are saying, okay, we're paying these guys a lot now. Can we do this ourselves? And the way that kind of comes in, where someone's like, they're paying us a big fee to do that. There's another 1 or 2 clients kind of question, the ROAS is great, but all the new customers, they're questioning to say, is it accurate? So basically, we just kind of veered off that a little bit. Now we do have about 25, 75, that's 75% of our clients will pay retainer based, and then 25% would be lower case retainer plus ROAS deals. So it's kind of a bit of both. I kind of gauge as I take on the client whether I feel it would be more long term for us to do ROAS deal, but again, it's kind of varies.
It varies so much. This is the thing. I was going through some pricing based stuff the other day. Someone asked me like how do we price everything, and it is so individual to each individual circumstance, and it's almost like one of them things like there are like 5, 6, 7 different ways that you can price a customer, and it has to be right for them. Like we've got some customers who are on ROAS only deals, some customers who are on service based only, some that are on service and ROAS, and some were even looking into equity, right? And it just depends on like the business. A couple of clients at the minute we've also got on of revenue minus ad spend, because we're doing the overall marketing stuff. So but there's no formula to knowing like what is best for that client. You have to read that individual situation.
100%.
I think you learn that as well when you screw up sales, because there's you probably had quite a few. I definitely have. Is when you close someone, you're like, I should have closed them on this instead of this. You realize that you screwed yourself over, but you don't make the same mistake twice.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. I mean, a couple of clients know I'm like, if we had them on ROAS deals, I'd be able to wealthy off more clients. But basically, again, my goal is to. I don't want to be. I'm not greedy at all. So I don't want to be I don't want to be charging clients massive fees. I want the client to be as comfortable as possible, so that they're a client for 2 years. I mean, we've loads of clients now that are with us like 2.5 years.
Nice.
Over that, they've referred us to so many. So once I'm happy, they're happy. There's no stress, and we're massively profitable from each client. Then I'm very, very happy.
Yeah, 100%. You just need to build it. It's all about relationships. And at the end of the day, like if you have good relationships, if you've got like tens and tens of clients on your portfolio and you're getting referrals from them, it's just a never ending stream of new clients.
Yeah, it really is. That's literally it. It's that's the key is relationships. Just managing relationships and maintain.
What did you talking to relationships? What's your communication process like with your clients? Like, are you maintaining a relationship with a member of your team? Like, how's that all kind of structured? Because surely with like 30 clients, you're kind of at this point where if you're doing it, you're spending all your time communicating. So what does that look like?
Yeah, well, I'm not. I am involved. I do like my first hour every day is just scanning through the WhatsApp and the Slack groups, and obviously checking my emails, things like that. So I do have an eye over everything. But obviously, I think when we grew past like 18 or 19 clients, then it's physically impossible for me to manage or be involved in every client. So
Yeah.
so we have like our CMO. So our CMO is everyone's full time now. So our CMO kind of he's involved in like 14 or 15 media buying accounts, and so he's kind of overseeing all that. He's also overseeing our other two media buyers. So there's three people across the whole Facebook and Instagram advertising that manage everything there. We have our Google manager, because we do Google, YouTube, TikTok, everything. So our Google manager then is in there. So anything Google related to client, we just directly message them. And then same with our TikTok manager. Any client that needs anything, just message the TikTok manager directly. And then we kind of have our marketing manager, as I said, Rebecca, who connects all the dots then with all the clients, making sure that she's also the reporting manager, so she'd report every Wednesday. So every Wednesday we report for the previous Monday to Sunday.
Okay.
Because of late attribution, really, it's we see that the sales grow a lot from Monday to Wednesday, so we allow that period. And then we have our email marketing team. So we have an email marketing director, an email marketing manager that I think we've like 24 clients on email marketing right now. Our Klaviyo side of things is just absolutely amazing for us these days. So you're
making good revenue from Klaviyo. So I've actually had it's been something we've been meaning to do for ages. Is like we white label email marketing, and we don't necessarily want to do it in house. Actually, we want to continue white labeling it, but it's something we want a more strategic partnership on it. But are you seeing big revenue increases from the Klaviyo like email remarketing? Klaviyo is just an email tool, guys. But are you seeing big revenue increases on like ecom with email marketing?
Oh, phenomenal. I think we had a client there. No, again, as I said, we do the weekly post of the client results. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks back there. We had a client do like 60k euro from Klaviyo. That's zero ad spend. That's
nice.
Their Klaviyo fee is like $300 a month. And
does Klaviyo come up with the emails? Or are you writing copy and everything as well?
Everything. So we have full service everything. So so some of our multi 7-figure brands, they would need like numerous flows, which means like pre-purchase, post-purchase, mid-purchase flows, a lot of cross-sell and upsell flows, and then 2 to 3 weekly campaigns.
Nice. That's a whole different beast. You've obviously built the team for that. I mean, I don't have the desire to build the team for that, because I kind of want to just keep it as lean as possible. It's definitely something we need to be doing for our clients, because we've got clients that are just like one of our clients is making over $5 million a month right in a minute, and they do not have an email marketing strategy. We're spending like $1 million a month on ads for them, and they literally just start making this revenue, but they don't have an email. And it's like we're so busy, so we're recommending this, but then also at the same time we're struggling to micromanage it. So it's like, while signing up new clients, so it's just cash on the table for them and for us. Like, what we ideally want to do is set up a strategic partner where somebody does the email marketing, and then we take a percentage of the ROAS as well. Do you have people on ROAS on email marketing, like on not ROAS but like a percentage of the return?
We to be honest, we don't right now.
You would do that.
Yeah, we are. It's something that we're in talks with in the future now. So in 2022 we will be. But I wanted that 6 to 8 month run of perfecting the Klaviyo side. It started off with 1 full time. Now it's 2 full time. So there's 2 full time staff managing the whole Klaviyo side. So I wanted to get it down to a T before we kind of agree and have a massive foundation of credibility.
You could do like 10% return of the email marketing stuff on Klaviyo, and then you could pay your staff 2% of that. So they're getting massively incentivized to make sure all the things are profitable. That's such a scalable model, just on that side of the business.
It's so scalable. But again, sometimes if that what I've heard of other people having issues with is if the revenue gets so high the client will, they'll be watching what you're doing, so they can try to pick up some slack to get your ROAS down. Do you know what I mean? So again, finding that happy medium, like we spoke about on the Facebook, and then it can be scalable so long term.
It's tricky because, like, on the flip side to that, like, I understand that argument of, like, if a client's paying you huge amounts of money, they're going to be thinking, oh, well, should I really be paying this? I can pay an in-house team. But, like, the reality of it is like, we've got to look at, like, companies like Apple, like Samsung, like all of these big players, like, not even just them, like companies like ASOS. They are paying agencies millions. They've got in-house teams, but they're still paying experts to do that. Like, they're still paying experts millions to actually like get them results. And so I think there's like this mental barrier between, like, clients paying you. Like, I mean, we've got a client in a minute who's been with us over 6 months now, and they're consistently paying us $50K a month, like, consistently. And like, and we've got other clients that, like, literally, like, I've got another client who I signed up 2 weeks ago, and they're doing 80K organic, and we're running their ads. First month, 52 ROAS. It was insane. No, first week, sorry, 52 ROAS, insane. And that's not maintainable, but they've had this Facebook Pixel one for 5 years, no ads whatsoever, but 80K a month. So they're huge amounts of data. We're literally running broad ads to them and just cleaning up. But we've planted the seed with them. We're like, you're going to be paying us hundreds of thousands a month. Like, you're going to be paying us hundreds of thousands a month, like in like a year's time. And he's like, bring it. I love it. I want it. Because he's just thinking about making $1 million, like making multiple millions a month. So I think as long as your relationship is founded on that basis, I think it's difficult to go from a service charge and someone being used to paying $5K a month or something like that, or like $2K a month. But if your whole relationship is founded on, I want a piece of your pie, and when you grow, we're going to grow, and we're going to make a lot of money together, but you're going to be paying us a lot. I think the mentality shift is very different. And I think that's quite, I mean, for example, like, if you jump into, like, the corporate world, like, I did a project for Cupra. They won't watch this video, so I don't care to suppose. And I did a project for Cupra, and they paid me 80 grand for it. And it was a really simple project. But it was like literally like a 2 weeks worth of work. And because these companies have just got cash to blow, and they understand that they need to pay experts. When I started Affluent, I reached out to the company that designed the logo for Airbnb because I wanted them to design my logo. They quoted me 120 grand for logo design. So, like, there's this bridge between, like, mentally I can charge this because people will pay it, and then actually what people will pay, like, if relationship is founded off that. Do you know what I mean?
I couldn't agree more. Like, exactly, and that, I think that is it. Again, it's all about the company that you're dealing with, really. Like, I don't know, is it a mindset thing? But it's like, some clients will be like, yeah, let's go, and it's all about, I think it's about gauging in the initial discovery and the onboarding phase where their mindset is at. Again, some clients are all for it, and some clients are no. And again, we've had issues where we had a brand doing, they were spending 5 to 10K a month in ads, but they were doing about 125K a month. So we came in on the Klaviyo side and we made massive revenue. But then, it was just friction there straight away to say, because she was previously doing on MailChimp.
Right.
So she came in with us and she's like, I'm paying a massive fee now. Is it going to be long term for her? And again, so it's just basically gauging where their mindset is at.
Well, we often set, like, let's say someone was doing it beforehand. We set, like, okay, we'll figure out over the last 3 months they've been making 50K a month or something like that on email marketing. Let's say we then only charge above what they've been making themselves. So we can combat that through that. Same with revenue. Like, if we do like a revenue minus ad spend deal, we basically work out, okay, this customer's been making 10K a month for the last 3 months. Now we'll charge them everything above that point because the only thing they've changed in the business is marketing. Yeah. It's a nice way of combating.
That makes total sense. That's the best way to combat.
But there's so many ways that you can scale. Like, there's so many ways that you can, like, build the business. I mean, you've ATEX, like, so what's your plan now with the agency? Because obviously you've got, like, quite a big team. It's interesting because you've got in the way you've structured things, like, it's a completely different necessarily path to like what I've done, but it works, like, really, really well. Like, we've got one ad specialist manages all clients. So there's a way you can do things. You can either have one person manage absolutely everything. So let's say, not one ad specialist manages all our clients. I mean, one ad specialist manages one client. So let's say if an ad specialist is working with a client and they were doing TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, whatever, that one ad specialist will manage all services for every client that they're working with. If that makes sense. Whereas you've got like, let's say you've got a client, you've got a TikTok guy, you've got a YouTube guy, you've got a Google guy. So, and then you've got somebody who does all of that communication. And it's just interesting because they're two completely different ways of doing things, but you get the exact same result. Do you find did you have that mental decision in your mind? Is there like a reason why you opted to go for the way you're going? Is there ever friction with the communication across skills? Like, how does that look?
Well, it kind of just, this, like, obviously I did have the vision of getting the business to where it is today, but I didn't have an exact formula of how I wanted it to pan out like it did today. But it kind of just fell into place. We're doing Google ads now probably 18 months. So like the same Google manager is with us, since day one. So, we just have that down. He's there with us. And to be honest, no, there's never really been friction, like we're all communicate together and then communicate to the clients. So, for example, if our Facebook team would say, guys, we just got a massive ROAS on XYZ targeting set, our audience, then we put that into the group chat, and then the Google team would kind of say, that's a good idea, we might do that for ourselves, might do that for the next Google campaign. So, again, our only goal is to, as we say to the clients, like where we can't bring engagement or likes or followers, we're just driving revenue from all angles.
100%. Yeah, we're the same, man. Like, who gives a shit about engagement? Like, we had a client come to us the other day, like an inbound lead, and they were like, oh no, we don't care about revenue. We just want like brand awareness. I was like, what do you do? I was like, and this is a big company. Like, they're like actually like a big real estate firm, like massive, millions. And I was like, why? I was like, what's wrong with you? So like, what do you? And they're like, oh no, we've just had a board meeting. We decided like we just need more like brand awareness. We want more. And I'm like, okay, like if your company needs an ego boost, we can do it for you. We'll charge you X, Y, Z. But like, this is like the easiest work ever for us. I'm going to set up your ads and get loads of engagement for you. You're going to be happy with a couple of likes. But like, what's that really going to do for you? Like, so we position ourselves in the same way. I think your agency and ours are just revenue driven, and that's what we focus on.
100%.
So are you communicating? So obviously you're communicating on Slack with the team. Are you using WhatsApp groups for clients? Like, how are you managing? What's the client communication like?
To be honest, it's just nuts all over. While you're talking there, the computer's going mad. So I think there's like 30 Slack groups here now on my computer there. And then we have about 7 or 8 WhatsApp groups. So again, we have some clients that look, we just don't like Slack, or like some clients that look, we run the whole company through WhatsApp and we don't want to move over. That's fine. Preferably Slack is great for us because again, we can all see, the notification on the side of the computer.
Yeah.
And I feel that WhatsApps can get missed. I think you told me you use WhatsApp.
We used to use Slack, and I've got a couple of clients who use Slack because they use it. If a client uses Slack themselves in their own team, which lots of people do these days, it's great. Like, we're like, okay, cool, we'll just create a Slack group. But we found that like, especially like some like the newer e-com like clients, like they don't necessarily use it. And then so we're like, and then when they needed to contact us, they weren't contacting us on Slack, and they were just like calling Joe or calling Tom or whoever's managing the account. And then it just becomes a mess. So we're like, okay, we'll just chuck you in a WhatsApp group. So actually we've got just like a ton of WhatsApp groups, which thankfully I'm not a member of. I'm like, so their phones are blowing up daily.
Yeah. This time 6 or 7 months ago, we had that, and like there was no escape. Like I had to get a work phone now because I just couldn't keep up with it. But WhatsApp is great for the clients who are active on WhatsApp all day. But again, it's some clients love Slack. So again, we don't have specific SOPs that we can't work with you if we don't use Slack, but we recommend Slack because that's how we communicate as a team.
For sure. So you've got like a big client base. So what is the like the CRM system or like the client management? Like what kind of task management tools do you use at the minute? I ask this actually more selfishly because I'm constantly jumping between tools. Like, I'm trying things out all the time. We're currently using Notion. And we've been using Monday.com, and then they charge you like $300 a month or $500 every time you add a member. It's just that it doesn't make sense to pay that for like a CRM or like whatever. So and there's functionality issues with that, and then we moved over to High Level, and we've just done so many different tools. Like, what are you using at the minute? What do you find is working for you?
Yeah, so basically, so just to touch back, probably what I didn't mention is out of 33 or 34 clients, I think 6 or 7 are lead gen clients. We still work with lead gen. We're in the process. We 2 over to High Level only last week. The rest are all being moved over. We're going to give that a month's trial now and see if it works. But it does look amazing, to be fair. I mean, I've researched it for a lot. I spent the last month we were on Monday.com. And I was just like, there's too many bells and whistles.
There is, yeah.
I was like, I just don't think that is. And I was trying to figure out if it's costing a lot. So went back to Trello, man. And Trello is the best software.
Yeah, so many people do that. Our team are currently like, I tried to get them on a Monday, and I was like, how are you getting on Monday? And then they're like, oh no, we've been using Trello. I was like, nice one, guys. I literally just invested in getting this whole thing set up for you, and they're back on Trello.
Yeah. No, if you are very techy, I know other agencies that have like their Mondays connected to their Trello or their Mondays connected to Slack. And when one person does a task here, they get a notification of 5 different apps. They have to report back to there. There's just way too much going on. Whereas, where that's too complex for us. There's no need for that. Again, Rebecca and her CMO who manage the whole media buying process, whenever there's a task, they just put it into like, so we've, I'm not on this thankfully, but task, the first bar is wait to be done, currently working on and completed, or is waiting for input. So there's 4 tasks. So the team would manage the entire Slack group at 4:45 every day when everyone's finishing, and they put into the group chat, guys, is everything done on the Trello? And we're waiting for input from a client on a couple of bits, but usually 60 to 80% of it gets done, and if not, we just do the next bit then tomorrow. So Trello is the winner for me. I manage my own personal day-to-day. Everything I do is on Trello, like all the calls today now are on Trello.
It makes a lot of sense to do that. In fact, like we recently rebuilt, as I said, we've been trying out like Notion. We rebuilt an agency management tool inside Notion for like new agencies. But actually we've been using it ourselves, and we're putting it in the academy. And but the actual task management, client management side is literally like a replication of Trello. It's just like the boards. So it's literally just like exactly the same. And I don't know why, like at some point I moved away from Trello, because you look at it how simple it is and you think, oh, there must be some other tool I need. And then you come full circle again and realize like you don't need to overcomplicate things. I think like as agency owners, as business owners in general, I think we see people online, we see other agencies, and we think, oh, like as we grow, we need to systemize this and systemize that. When actually, like sometimes it's just good to have it basic and just keep it simple. And that's the best way to do things.
100%, man. I think Trello's a winner all day. No need to complicate it.
Cool, and it's cheap as chips, so that's a big benefit. So, what are you doing in the company right now? So, like, you've obviously got loads of new team members. Like, what does your position look like as the owner?
Yeah, so again, kind of a bad trait I have that I'm trying to lose at the minute is my day is being steered by my phone. Like, tasks come into my phone and I have to, attend to them, which I don't want to do. I don't want to be steered on my phone. So I'm trying to get my screen time down that I can work on tasks and things like that. The past 3 months I've taken on 5 people each month for one-to-one coaching. So I've been kind of putting a bit of time into that. It's something that I kind of have a very, very long-term vision for, but I'm not 100% sure on the route I'm going just yet with it. But I thought that was very, very, very interesting. I think we 15 students. We're still on that batch of last 5. So I've been working on that. And then man, just kind of building, growing, looking at things from like, a bit of a bird's eye view to say what can be better here, and then get into that.
Nice.
And networking. And as I said before the call, I'm kind of looking to branch off into other bits now, or try to get an investment portfolio made, things like that.
Cool. We'll come on. We'll come on to that. I want to talk to you about a few investment bits in a minute. So, but your day sounds very similar to mine. It kind of like you have a plan, things that you want to do, and then it gets dictated by all the other shit that's going on. So, it's hard like that. And sometimes I have to, like at the moment, I'm in like in a state of, I go through periods of like super intense high work, and then I kind of say to everyone that leave me alone. I need to get this work done. So it's like, I'm kind of inaccessible, but the majority of the days I'm kind of everyone's, it just depends on who's messaging me, who needs what, and kind of being pulled around.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, your financial situation has changed massively since we last spoke. I mean, you now, I don't know if you were beforehand, but you're now living in Marbella at the moment. Like you've been living there for the last year? So like 6 months? So how is that? How has your personal life changed? Like what kind of impact has the business had on that side of things? You got new teeth. I mean, that's not that you needed them, but like look at them pearly white. So
yeah. I mean, so I moved to Marbella in July 2020. So I'm here like 15, 16 months. I consider Marbella as like home now for myself the past year. But yeah, it's been great, man. Like great connections, like so many new friends. Like everyone here is kind of up to something, business wise or things like that. So it's great. It's great for connection, obviously learning things like that. Yeah, it's been great here. Again, in the middle of my lease is up at the end of this month, so I'm kind of again weighing up my options. Not 100% sure, but yeah, just kind of, again, if I'm thinking about moving back to Ireland and looking at offices and things like that, and then 1 minute I'm like, I don't know if that's the best option because our staff are so spread apart. There's not really much need for an office. So yeah, just kind of weighing up my options, man. But yeah, living in Marbella, I'm very, very happy here. The weather is great. There's great gyms.
Yeah. Really can't complain.
And stuff. Yeah.
So you've got, I suppose, I mean, you're living the laptop lifestyle, as some would say, right? I mean, you're still living out of an apartment, but like you're very liquid in the way that you've positioned your life. Similar to us, we don't have an office space. Like all your team members are like not in an office. Like, has that ever been? I know you mentioned you're thinking about getting an office. Would everybody move? Like, is everybody from Ireland? Like, has it ever been a thing, like an issue within the company? And like, and what do you think is the long-term solution of that as you start scaling?
Yeah, I only had this conversation before. When we had a call our email team this morning, they were just saying like we all can't wait for Black Friday to be finished because everyone's exhausted. But we're kind of talking about this. When's the next ceiling going to be there? Like, do we need to move into a unit, stuff like that? So I don't know. Something to kind of figure out.
Is everyone local, or is everyone all over the world?
No, so everyone is in Ireland or the UK. So obviously, I'm in Marbella. Our Google manager is in Bali. Our CMO he's in Marbella for a month now with me, just working. But he's from Scotland.
Yep.
And Rebecca's from the north, and my email staff are all from Cork, where I'm from back in Ireland. So yeah, we're all from Ireland, the UK, but we wouldn't be able to. Everyone wouldn't relocate just to come to an office,
You need one of these bad boys, mate. I bought this is the Oculus Quest, right? The VR glasses. I bought this last week, and honestly, have you used VR before?
No.
Honestly, man, it is insane, right? Me and Joe bought this because we want to have meetings on it. Facebook have gone that. Obviously, Facebook have rebranded their umbrella to Meta. So we're thinking, right, let's pay attention to this because there's going to be the opportunity for us to advertise on this shit later on down the line. So if everyone understands it, then we're going to be ready for it and we'll cream. So that's what we're thinking. And like, we're jumping on this meeting called like Workplace, and it's insane. Like you can literally sit there and you can work on your computer and do everything that you normally would. You can see your keyboard and mouse in front of you, and you can like work. And then like Joe can be there working or whatever. So like, and then like we liked it so much, we bought the whole team these. So we're kitting the entire company out with VR goggles. In fact, this is probably the first time I've mentioned this. I'll make a YouTube video about it. But we're kitting the entire team out. So like we're going to be having all of our meetings in VR from now on. So everybody has like a familiar place to come to. So there's like an office, we'll get one designed by like some 3D design or whatever. But it's actually mad. Like it's actually cool. Like you can be in Marbella, someone can be in Bali, someone can be in Ireland. And like, even though you're still working separately, when you need to, you can come to a familiar place together. Like, and it's no gimmick. Like it's actually fully functional. And that's what I was surprised with.
I know I can't handle that, John.
You can't handle that.
Not today, man. I can't do that. That's the future, man. That's nuts. Like that's actually scary.
That's scary.
don't need to leave our apartments anymore, man. We can just stay home all the time.
Well, I mean, we want an office long term. Like we're thinking, like reality, we're in the same position as you. Like at the same time, like I can't expect Tom and Seb to move from Kent and London and Joe from Sheffield and we're going to meet in the middle somewhere. Like at the minute, like it doesn't make sense for everyone to do that. So like this is like almost like a short-term solution whilst also having a bit of fun. But like it's long, like as the company develops, like we literally, I don't know if I've got it. No, me and Joe, like a couple of weeks ago, we booked a hotel. We planned this. We just wanted some time away from like where we were like working, and we just spent a whole day planning like the roadmap from 100K a month profit to $1 million a month profit. And that's what we're working on now. We're like, right, let's scale the agency to 7 figures a month. Let's break down like mental barriers. Let's actually figure out exactly what you need to do to do that and what the team structure needs to look like. So we drew like like imagine like a family tree, the structure, worst case scenario, best case scenario, all of that shit. But like in doing that, it's like 25 staff or something like that. So it's like 25 people full time. Maybe I think it may be less than that. But like let's say it is. It's like 20. It's like 20. But either way, like, and that's keeping it as lean as like physically possible because that's like one of our priorities. Like, how easy will it be, or how hard will it be to maintain or manage a company completely remote with 20 staff? Like, that's quite a difficult feat in itself. So there's going to have to come a point where we have to make sure that all of those people like are working from an office, or if not, there's like a certain group of people who are working from an office. So, but equally, I don't want to move into an office space. Like I want to build a fucking glass greenhouse with a rainforest inside it and butterflies flying around it. Like I want to build something cool as shit. So like, if I can't have that in reality now, then I'm going to fucking have it on my VR goggles instead. And then I'll build the office for everyone to relocate to. I'll make it worth their while.
Yeah, exactly. It makes total sense. I was only talking about that an hour ago. But yeah, I don't think I'm ready for the VR just yet. I'm still trying to figure out Monday.com. I don't need that stuff. But yeah, it's definitely where everything's going. It's scary, but exciting. Like I'm watching a lot of Gary Vee at the minute, and he's just like, the same thing he said about Instagram in like 2012 or whatever. He's saying that now about NFTs and virtual reality and stuff like that. So
let's touch on that quickly. I've got a sales call with a new client in quarter of an hour, but I want to touch on the investment thing quickly. So obviously guys, whatever we discussed here, this is not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. Your money is your own risk. Are you big in the crypto space at the minute? What are you doing on that side of things? Or have you got an investment strategy? What's your plan? Because obviously, like your agency now presumably is cash rich. You've been able to stack, and like it doesn't make sense to keep money in the bank. Like I've done it for years. I've just kept big sums of money in the business account, and like every time I speak to anyone who's at like an investment, they're like, "What are you doing?" So I've got an investment strategy. I'm interested to hear like what if you've started yet, or if you've got a plan for that.
Yeah, I'm the exact same. Like I'm saving money as much as I can. Like I'm not really spending that much. Like I'm saving because I was thinking about property for a bit, but I think that's a long-term play. But I am just ready for investments, and I'm just researching a lot now. And the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've been researching a lot. I was actually myself and Lucas actually had a call last night there for about nearly 2 hours, and I was just running over those plans with him, and we were just kind of chatting over everything. But
Lucas, as in from Hamby Media, or different? Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah. first of all, you wouldn't believe my crypto situation. I paid a guy to start me a portfolio and never deposited any funds. So I just never got around to it just yet. So I have a guy waiting. He's like, the portfolio is ready to go. You just have to deposit funds. But I'm just figuring out tax-wise, it's different in Ireland than it is in the UK with the crypto side. There's a lot of grey areas at the minute.
So that's the thing. Like I mean, I suppose you're in the position. I was in this position where you're like, can I take money out of the business and do it through that, or do I have to like pay? Because you're going to pay taxes on it if you take it out of the business. Yeah. Honestly, though, like I've gone through this recently. I wanted to take another like 50 grand out of the business, and I took it out yesterday in the end, just personal. I just have to pay tax on it. Like, it is what it is, because we've got a big dip in the market right now, and I'm like, I want to get in that dip. I want to buy that. I wanted to get 50k out, and I created this like Binance like corporate account, and I just created Coinbase one. Literally like 15 documents my accountant had to like get to like jump through these hoops. Then I got the account after 7 days, at which point the market's already like skyrocketed. And then when I've now got this, now I'm having to go through another approval process to like be able to actually deposit cash. It's just ridiculous. And so like I was just like, do you know what, screw this, I'm just taking the money out, and I'll just pay the 20, like I'll pay an extra 20% dividend tax on, or no, probably 40% dividend tax on that that amount. But like, if I believe in it long term as an investment, it's just 40% I'll have to wipe off, and I'll get that back from my investments long term. But it's a tricky situation, like, because you almost feel like I've got this cash, but I can't do anything with it when you want to invest.
Yeah, 100%. Again, the exact same. Mine was 40% as well. So like, you have to nearly double my investment in the crypto space just to break even when you get the tax bill. So it didn't really make sense at the time. But when you're looking at it more long term, it might start to make sense. But like, you know, I don't want to say what they are, but there's a good couple of investment opportunities that might be coming my way in the next couple of weeks. So I'm just, again, holding tough for them at the minute. And yeah, just trying to branch off and, you know, create new businesses and new opportunities for myself.
For sure, man. Yeah, branch that out, expand everything. That's wicked. We'll keep me updated on the investment side of things. I'm keen to hear what you do, like, because I'm sure there's like mutual opportunities that we can benefit from and whatever. I be careful with NFTs. I bought like an NFT a couple of weeks ago for 10 grand, and it came out in some scandal, and then it dropped down to like literally 2k overnight, and it still hasn't recovered. So like, there are so many risks with things like that, but like there's so much upturn. But like, of course, like real estate, everything like long term, like obviously like just like dropped a lot of cash on this house, and that's increasing value pretty quick. But like, I'd like to build like a commercial real estate like kind of portfolio and stuff as well. So like, whatever you end up doing, just let me know, keep me updated, and we'll share ideas and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, I might run over one or two bits there the next couple of days, actually. But yeah,
cool. All right, then, mate. Well, thank you so much for jumping on here. I feel like we could chat for like another hour about so much stuff. There's so many topics I wanted to talk about that we haven't even spoken about. So we'll do another one of these in the future, I think, because obviously people will just get so much benefit from these. I hope you have enjoyed this, by the way, guys. Adam, what platforms are you using the most at the minute? Like, I'm sure you're busy as hell, so you probably can't respond to DMs. But if people want to follow the journey, at least, whereabouts should they look?
Instagram, I suppose, would be the best one. I started TikTok there 2 weeks ago. I'm not too sure what I'm doing. But yeah, I think Instagram is all I have. I deleted all the interaction. So.
I'll whack a link in the description then. Guys, make sure you go follow Adam and follow the journey. I mean, you'll be breaching those 100k months in no time, probably in the next probably before Christmas at this rate. So we'll see what happens. Nice. And then we're going to be on the race to 7 figures a month. So I'm coming for it. Cool. All right, then, Adam. Thanks, bro. I will speak to you soon. Guys, hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check him out.